Right now it's not looking good for the Tate brothers. Not only did the current UFC middleweight champion absolutely slam them in an interview, but that interview also went on to go super viral. Now this is absolutely horrible for the Tates. Not only because Sean Strickland became super famous after winning the belt, but also because he has the exact same fan base as the Tates, which is young men. Young men who are interested in masculinity and self-improvement. Young men who could potentially buy Andrew Tate's course. So the Tates had to do damage control and response. And this response is a complete meltdown. I mean, look at what Tristan had to say.
Some fighter the other day, I can't remember his name. I think he was a boxer, maybe a boxer or an MMA guy.
So he starts off with the classic "I don't know who this is" line, which is obviously bullshit since the Tates are UFC fans and Sean Strickland just had the biggest upset victory in UFC history. I mean, there's no way Tristan thinks that Sean Strickland is some boxer.
Was saying something like, yeah, you know, those guys used to scam people with their webcam models. They're a bad role model for whatever. What? One, you're a fucking hypocrite. Let me explain why that guy's a hypocrite. When you run any type of entertainment business, whether it be a Twitch streaming agency, a Rumble streaming agency, a Kick streaming agency, a webcam streaming agency, or whether you're a boxer or a fighter, you are leaving the door open for some people to completely abuse vices in your name. And you have nothing that you can do about it. When you run a webcam studio, there are people who will visit the girls and talk to them in a very healthy way, spend $50 on a weekend and exit. And then you get addicts who are uncontrollable, who will throw all their money at webcam models until they're destitute. And the addict cannot be saved and cannot be helped by not running your business. You close that down, the addict's going to go to someone else. Now, for this guy, a professional fighter, to sit there and say that I should have some remorse for the addict or some control over what the addict does is embarrassing.
What?
I mean, at least Tristan admits that he has absolutely no remorse for taking tens of thousands of euros away from mentally ill men. But it's still kind of crazy to me to refer to your victims as the addict, like they are not even human. And the cope out that the addict would go somewhere else doesn't really work for the Tates, since they actively pretended to be women to lure men in to send them as much money as possible. But Tristan's dumbest take is yet to come.
Because he is yet to turn the mirror on himself. He is an entertainer. He is fighting in the ring. He is providing entertainment for these millions of people around the world watching him. You think people don't bet, my G? You think people don't bet healthy amounts of money on your fights and hope that you win? And when you win, profit from it? Yeah, that's cool. Because the betting and the fight purses are linked. The fact that there's so much gambling involved and the fact that people bet is why you get paid in the fucking first place. And let me tell you something. The big money in the betting and the big money in the gambling doesn't come from the guys who you watch your fights and use this gambling service in a healthy way. No, it comes from the addicts, the degenerates, the people who cannot be helped. Every time you fight, somebody has lost everything he had. And for me to sit there, having done what I've done and having lived the life I lived, and say this fighter should feel remorse. This fighter is a bad example to men. Because through his fight purses, he has scammed millions out of degenerate gamblers who cannot help themselves would be false. But you don't understand that you have opened the door for degenerates to lose every penny they have every time you put on those gloves, every time you lace up.
So somehow, according to Tristan, fighting is just as bad as actively trying to scam mentally ill men out of their money because people bet on fights. Wow. I don't think I have to explain why this take is absolutely stupid. Fighters have absolutely nothing to do with the betting companies. Besides that some fighters maybe promote betting companies sometimes, they make absolutely no money off of people gambling on their fights.
And for you to lace up and say, you know what? If you want to be a critic of me, you want to be a critic of my brother? Okay, cool. Good. Then you do this, my friend. You say, I will fight for money at a much reduced fee as long as nobody in the world can gamble on my fights. That way I've protected everybody and I'm completely responsible, and I did not, no betting website scammed some gambler out of his cash. Don't, when you're in the entertainment business that bankrupts families and people because of their lack of self-discipline.
So if you want to criticize a active scammer, somebody that actively takes money from people, steals money from people, you have to be perfect. You have to be like Jesus Christ to be allowed to criticize the Tates.
Don't you dare lecture me, little man, about what I've done in my past, because the addicts cannot be helped. I'll tell you what I do. You would lose all your fight contracts and all your sponsorships if you said something like, no one bet, no one gamble on fights. No, everyone stop it. You got into the octagon. Thanks for watching me. Got into the boxing ring. Thanks for watching me. But don't ever gamble and don't bet. You'd lose every contract you have.
Now it seems like Tristan has never seen an actual ad for a gambling company before, but this is literally what they tell you. They literally tell you that gambling is bad, that gambling will lose you money. And to act like a majority of the pay-per-view buys that actually pay the fighters come from hardcore gambling addicts is just ridiculous. Just like claiming that the UFC would cut their middleweight champion because he said that gambling is bad in a post-fight interview. Now what makes Tristan's anti-gambling take even funnier is that he and Andrew actually own casinos in Romania. Now what do you guys think of this? Who's on the right here, Sean or Tristan? Leave a comment and subscribe.